Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Beyond Crazy. Olof Palme. Olof Palme was one of the most successful and recognizable people in Swedish politics in the final decades of the 20th century, rising as leader of the Swedish Social Democratic Workers' Party to become the country's prime minister twice, once from 1969 to 1976 and again from 1982 to 1986 when his second term was cut ruthlessly short. On the evening of February 28, 1986, Olaf and his wife Lisbeth Palme were walking home from a Stockholm cinema when a figure came up behind them and shot each in the back. Olaf was killed, while Lisbeth was hospitalized. She survived. As of 2020, 134 different people had confessed to the murder, meaning that for many of the investigation looks like a lost cause. In 2020, Sweden officially closed the case on the assassination, and though Sweden's chief prosecutor Christer Peterson named the long-dead suspect Stig Engström as the likely perpetrator, the passage of time has meant that no new information is expected to emerge that might confirm the circumstantial evidence placing him at the scene. There are many conspiracy theories surrounding the assassination, including those that say he was murdered by the Kurdistan Workers' Party or enemies in South Africa. One man, a convicted murderer by the name of Christer Peterson, was found guilty of killing Palme in 1988, but was acquitted the following year. Del Gua. Del Gua was hailed as a journalistic hero for his work in his home country of Nigeria. Having received his education in the US and gained vital experience at the New York Times in the late 1970s, Gua returned to Nigeria where he became a prominent investigative journalist, uncovering the many scandals of the country's corrupt government of the day. He went on to found and become the editor-in-chief of the hard-hitting investigative paper Newswatch, but Gua's stellar career was to be tragically cut short. On October 19, 1986, the journalist was killed while having breakfast with a friend, Coyote Soyinka, at the former's house in Lagos City. Pictured, the murder weapon was a letter bomb brought into the room by Gua's son, which Soyinka had also held moments before Gua opened it and received the full blast of the incendiary device inside. Gua had been arrested in the years prior to his killing. Indeed, his latest brush with the Nigerian State Police occurred just 2 days before the letter bomb, which he had assumed was material for Newswatch, killed him. To date, no one has been arrested in relation to the murder. Attila Altikad. On August 27, 1982, the Turkish military attaché to Canada, Colonel Attila Atakat, was traveling in his limousine through Ottawa's Embassy District when an unknown gunman opened fire on the car, killing him instantly. The 45-year-old's assassination was just the latest in a huge number of targeted attacks against Turkish people from 1973 onwards, orchestrated. It was claimed by one of the many American terror groups as a result of ongoing strife between the two nations. A total of 23 people were believed to have lost their lives in such attacks, which often specifically targeted Turkish diplomats living and working abroad, while a group calling themselves Justice Commandos for American Genocide claimed the responsibility for the attack. They later merged with other groups and dissolved, meaning that uncovering the identity of Atakat's assassin is now high on impossible. In 2012, a new memorial was unveiled at the site of Atakat's murder, dedicated to the memory of fallen diplomats. Krim Belkacem. Krim Belkacem was an Algerian living in exile in Germany at the time of his horrific murder, which took place in a Frankfurt hotel room on October 20th, 1970. He was found strangled. Formerly the leader of the National Liberation Front, a revolutionary group in Algeria fighting French occupation, he had helped to fight the revolt as a military leader. However, the capture of his allies, the formation of a rival government, and his eventual sentencing to death for treason forced him to flee the country he had helped to shape. Their report of the murder contains details of a group of Moroccan men who had checked into the hotel and left without paying. It was also in one of these rooms that Bakusam's body was discovered. In Algeria, anger of the dispossessed, the historian Martin Evans argues that everyone connected to the National Liberation Front put the blame for the killing at the feet of the new Algerian government. However, more recently, it has been argued that his death may have been orchestrated by external forces to stoke tension in Algeria. Carlo Tresca. Carlo Tresca was an anarchist newspaper owner and political activist who on the night of January 11, 1943, was shot dead on the streets of New York. He had been a radical figure. Born in Italy, Tresca had come to America where he established himself as an outspoken critic of fascists and exploitative capitalists and won many friends with his charisma. He was the last of the great revolutionists who fought implacably with love instead of hate in their hearts. His friend Max Eastman told author Dorothy Gallagher to her book, All the Right Enemies, The Life and Murder of Carlo Tresca. Some of his final work had been on highlighting the hypocrisy of former fascist Italians attempting to carve up political power in the wake of Benito Mussolini, which had also made enemies of movements across the political spectrum, including communist groups. Though his quarrels, Tresca also managed to incur the attention of the mafia, some of whom were believed to have ties to Tresca's enemies in Italy. As such, it has never been fully ascertained who pulled the trigger on Tresca, with journalists investigating the case offering a wide range of possible motives from numerous groups that crossed Tresca's path, and while many fingers pointed at mob hoodlum Carmine Galante, he was never arrested. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.